Morning, folks. This morning's soap is brought to us by RazoRock, Italian Barber. This one here is a gold label, and you can kind of read right there. It gives you a little bit of an idea what the scent is like. And it refers to it as sophisticated citrus. That's what it looks like on the inside. The other three labels, the black, green, this one here is gold, and then blue label, they're clear in color. I say clear, a white color, and this one here is like a charcoal type color. This is coming off of the base of along the lines of what the puck, so this is a hard puck. All four of these are hard pucks. It will take a little bit of effort to scrape out some soap to put in a bowl to bowl lather. Just want to throw that out there. As it goes for information about the scent, I guess, as opposed, what my nose picks up. This is my nose, which is not the best in the world. It says that it's sophisticated citrus, and I might pick up some citrus, but it still reminds me of a twist on the barbershop scent is what I'm, I guess you might say, working up to. At least that's what my nose picks up. And as it goes for scent strength, it's a little on the light side. I have it whipped up here in excuse me, a Sarabachi bowl. It's got grooves on the inside there. They're very shallow. They're not real deep. And bowl works out pretty well when it comes to holding, especially soap like this, holding it in place. And I got it whipped up here with a brush from Strike Gold Shave. It's a pretty nice brush. And I smell it without a problem when I bring it up to my nose. But I know the past, this will be my third shave with this particular lineup, and I guess you might say I feel like it's a light scent. I don't really, it's not an in-your-face type scent. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning. My pre-shave oil here is getting pretty low. It is something that I probably should point out about this particular container. The way this is set up, you can see that the tube comes down. It does run to the corner, so it helps get every last little bit out of there without having to taking it apart and pouring it out. Thought that was a pretty good idea. I also have my alum block. It is getting smaller. One of these days I have a new one waiting with a rubber band, but this one here, the rubber band was getting too wide, so I took it off quite some time ago. I also got Humphrey's witch hazel that's had menthol added to it, as well as peppermint. And pepperment's the, I guess you might say, the stronger scent on this, if you will. And I'm going to follow up with a Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements aftershave. This one here, I got started with this scent off of a beard oil, and really liked the scent that I got off the beard oil, so I picked up this aftershave here. And the shaver of the day, this will be the third shave with a Schick Injector. And you kind of see the reason why it's referred that way. Yep, that's right side up. This is a pretty smooth shaver, excuse me, shaver for me. This will be the third shave also on the Personna blade. Go ahead and get started here. Excuse me, got a frog this morning. This hard puck soap, last time I looked, it was on sale on Italian Barber, as well as the it comes in a stick form also. All four flavors. The size on this one here, this is a 3.5 ounce, and I think the sticks are 2.5 ounce in size, if I remember right. Give you some sort of idea what size you're getting if you're interested in trying some of this. So it does whip up in a creamy, that's how it feels in between my fingers. The shaves have been, how can you say, as expected with RazoRock soaps. They've all went rather well. And the lather is whipped up wet, very much like a yogurt style lather. It not quite drippy, just a tiny bit, just a little bit thicker than that, but it's been working really well. I like this kind of soap. It works well for me. as well as this shaver here. I would consider this shaver, I guess you might say, what, on the bottom scale of medium, or the top scale of, I guess you might say, sensitive. Mild might be another way of looking at it. Typically when I shave with this one, I don't end up with any weepers, nicks, cuts, irritation. But don't, if I was to get irritation, chances are it's because I'm pushing the limits of the blade. Before I picked this shaver up, my concern before I bought it was the ball on the end. If that was going to be an issue for me. Come to find out after I've used it a few times, I like the ball on the end. It helps, I guess you might say, as it goes for controlling the shaver. At least that's my experience with it. I like it. It's a fun shaver to use, and I get good shaves with it. I was really surprised on how easy it is to use. For me, it's easy to find the angle. Most of these shavers, when it comes to injectors, are pretty easy to find what the angle is. But like I say, it does lean more towards the bottom end of medium to mild aggressiveness. I guess if you're striving for BBS, you might have to put a little bit more work into it. Because, for instance, that strip that I got growing right through here, that I usually have to put a bit more effort into getting it. It's definitely one of those that I noticed that I do have to put a little bit more effort to catch it than what I would with a shaver that's a little bit more aggressive. But really easy for me to use. I had originally intended on doing the one of the other shaves on Saturday morning, and late Friday night I noticed my computer was acting kind of odd. Right before I was going to bed, didn't really give it too much thought until Saturday morning. I tried to start it up and noticed it was really struggling, and then the next thing you know, I get that blue screen. Wasn't necessarily the blue screen of death, but it's pretty darn close, I would say, because it took me a good 3.5 hours to get it lined back out where it would actually run. It was moving very slow. It's a Windows computer. It's a Dell laptop Latitude, old one. I think it came out in 2011. I've had it for a good moment. I guess you might say I know it, the days are numbered on this laptop, but I really like to, well, I put quite a bit of effort into this particular laptop. I boosted up the memory up to 16 gigabytes, so I was planning on this laptop to last a good long while. And it's worked out. It's been very faithful until just here recently. So I was following the steps, according to Microsoft, on how to get this error to go away. And it was really struggling just to do that. So I ended up just doing, I guess you might say, a full reset on it. It took me a while. So here I am on a Monday morning doing one of these shaves. But I have to say though, this is trying to remember what the going price was. I'm wanting to say $11 or $12 for all four or something like that. That might have been the stick price. I can't remember. I get the two confused. But to me, it's a very nice value. And you might want to, if you're really interested in these kind of values, I subscribe to them. In other words, I get an email sent to me, so that way I get these and don't miss them. Because otherwise, you know, you end up having to visit the site on a regular basis. And I do visit it to see what the deal of the day is, or the week. Because they do have pretty good bargains. And if you're looking at sticking to a small budget, this might be one to consider, this line of soap. And it does, like I say, it does come in stick form, so those that like to do the face lather, you can do that too with a stick. There is a certain amount of feedback I noticed on this particular shave rod against screen pass. In other words, it's even on the first use with this blade, I've noticed it. September is just right around the corner, and I had saw a posting from Joy Shaving. He mentioned that he was going to try to use shavettes for the month of September, and I messaged him and decided I would just kind of tag along with him and do shavettes through the month of September. He did mention that in his posting about possibly, you know, mixing in a few other shavers later along with it, which I understand, because with the shavette, if you get a shave that's a little too close, yeah, you might want to have your next shave with a different kind of shave, or something a little bit more on the milder side. Fortunately for me, I have got enough shavettes. I have some that will give me very close shaves, and I also got some that will be a bit more on the milder side, so that kind of helps out when you have a shave that was, I guess you might say, pretty close. The face might be just a tad bit sore. There is a learning curve with those shavettes. For me, I was pretty determined when I started to learn how to use one, because I felt like for me it was going to be my step from going from a shavette to a straight razor, and I figured a lot of my technique would transfer over, and so I was pretty determined to learn how to use one. And I still got plenty to learn, because I can get across the green passes on my cheek, little or no trouble, but down on my neck, it's just not happening yet. Still got a lot to learn, but I do enjoy the challenge, the fun, the satisfaction you get when you get, you know, better than what you started out with, and you see yourself improving. Yeah, there's much more of the I put more of the peppermint in this as opposed to the menthol, so the scent is a little bit different, more peppermint, but still has that nice cooling effect on my face. And it's really nice. Awesome. Like I said, the peppermint might be a better choice for some folks, because not liking the menthol. Peppermint does a really nice job cooling down the face, if that's something you like. It's still pretty warm here, and so for me, using something like this is, I guess you might say, like a no-brainer. They're still putting out heat advisories and whatnot, so that ought to give you some idea. Even though it should be cooling off, I think, after today. going to be smelling good today, that's for sure. Pretty easy going shave, I'd have to say. For me, these injectors they hit the sweet spot. Just easy going shave for me. Going to be out of the Preshave oil here pretty soon from Yulay, and I do have some that I'm going to be trying from Stirling. It doubles as a beard oil, so we'll be giving it a try here pretty soon because that's not going to last much longer. I usually use about 3 squirts for me. That works well for me, about 3 squirts. You might want to use a little bit less, just depending on what your experience is with your shave. To me, 3 squirts, working it into my face before I get going on my shave. I just do this at the beginning when I start to get ready for shave, so that's all the longer, I guess you might say, let it set. And it, for me, just seems to help out a lot, not only during the shave, but it seems like on the post shave my face does feel different. So I'm thinking I'm going to start leaning more towards pre-shave oils as opposed to the soap. You may not feel like you have a need for it, which I understand. It just, I got to send a sample of pre-shave soap from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and that's how I got started on this. So thought I might as well give it a try. See, he knew what he was doing. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.